Have you ever wondered if there's a weapon out there so powerful it could end the world as we know it? A doomsday device straight out of science fiction? Well, what if I told you that hidden in the shadows of classified history, such a weapon might have existed? Today we're diving deep into the chilling story of a top-secret initiative known only as Project Valhalla. The name itself, Valhalla, comes from Norse mythology, the Hall of Slain Warriors. It's a place for the end of the world, Ragnarok, and that name was no accident. The goal of Project Valhalla was to create the ultimate deterrent, a weapon so devastating that its very existence would prevent any war from ever happening again. The logic was simple, if terrifying. If you have a gun that can destroy the entire planet, who would ever dare to pull the trigger? So what exactly was this weapon? Forget everything you know about traditional bombs. Project Valhalla wasn't about a bigger explosion. It was about something far more insidious. The core concept, according to declassified whispers and anonymous sources, involved a network of strategically placed devices designed to trigger a global geological catastrophe. We're talking about artificially inducing massive earthquakes along the world's most volatile fault lines, like the San Andreas Fault or the Pacific Ring of Fire. Imagine a domino effect of destruction. One device goes off, triggering a magnitude 9 earthquake. The resulting tsunami engulfs coastlines. The seismic shock waves travel through the Earth's crust, setting off the next device in the chain. This cascade would then trigger supervolcanoes, like the one slumbering beneath Yellowstone. The ash cloud would block out the sun, plunging the world into a volcanic winter. Temperatures would plummet, crops would fail, and civilization would collapse not in a flash of light, but in a slow, freezing, agonizing descent into darkness. The technology behind it was supposedly based on something called resonance frequency. Every object has a natural frequency at which it vibrates. The theory was that by generating and directing immense energy waves at the precise resonance frequency of a tectonic plate, scientists could cause it to shake violently and fracture. Think of a singer shattering a wine glass with their voice, but on a planetary scale. These energy emitters were to be placed in deep-sea trenches or buried miles beneath the Earth's surface, completely undetectable. The project began in the darkest days of geopolitical tension, a time when global superpowers were locked in a stalemate, each pointing their arsenals at the other. The architects of Valhalla believed they were creating a form of ultimate peace. They called it Mutually Assured Destruction 2.0. But the moral and ethical questions were staggering. A handful of individuals would hold the power to literally crack the world open. Who were these people? The team was a ghost crew. Their names were erased from public records. They were brilliant physicists, geologists, and engineers, sworn to an oath of absolute secrecy. They lived and worked in isolated underground facilities, completely cut off from the outside world. Their work was their life, and their burden was the knowledge of what they were building. They were creating a god machine, a weapon to judge all of humanity. But as the project neared completion, a deep division reportedly split the team. Some saw it as a necessary evil, the only way to guarantee humanity's survival. Others were horrified. They argued that even if the weapon was never used, the potential for an accident, a malfunction, or a single person making a terrible decision was too great a risk. What if a natural earthquake accidentally triggered one of the devices? What if a rogue actor got their hands on the activation codes? This internal conflict is where the story gets really murky. According to one account, a faction of scientists, led by a figure known only as the Custodian, decided the project had to be stopped. They couldn't just destroy the research, the knowledge was too dangerous. Instead, they devised a plan to sabotage Project Valhalla from within. They allegedly created a fail-safe, a complex cryptographic key so impossibly difficult to solve that it would effectively lock the weapon system forever. This key was supposedly broken into multiple pieces and hidden across the globe, in locations that are geographically and politically stable, places that would endure the tests of time. The logic was that if humanity ever reached a point where it was collectively wise and advanced enough to find and reassemble the key, then perhaps, and only perhaps, they would be responsible enough to handle the power of Valhalla. And then, just as it reached its peak, the entire project vanished. Funding was cut, the facilities were abandoned and sealed. The scientists disappeared, either reassigned to obscure posts or simply vanishing into history. Officially, Project Valhalla never existed. It was scrubbed from every government document. Any inquiry into its name is met with a wall of silence. So, is it a true story, or is it a modern myth, a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and technology? It's hard to say for sure. The evidence is circumstantial, pieced together from rumors and whispers in the intelligence community. But it makes you think, doesn't it? What other secrets are buried deep in the archives of our world's governments? What technologies are being developed right now, in secret, that could change the fate of our planet forever? The legacy of Project Valhalla, whether real or imagined, serves as a powerful reminder. It tells us that our greatest threat might not be from an outside enemy, but from our own creations. It raises the ultimate question: do we have the wisdom to control the power we create? As we continue to push the boundaries of science, this is a question we must keep asking ourselves. Because one day, we might just build something that we can't unbuild. What do you guys think? Is Project Valhalla a real buried secret or just a fascinating conspiracy theory? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Stay curious.